We're living in uncertain times, and the storms of life at the moment are uncertain and very difficult. And even now, we need more encouragement than ever. And I find my encouragement in the Psalms. And one psalm in particular has helped me at the moment, and I'd like to share it with you. It's Psalm 29. In the Good News version of the Bible, this psalm is entitled "The Voice of the Lord in the Storm." And I call this a wow psalm. It was written by David, and it's interesting that in this psalm, David doesn't ask for anything. He doesn't ask for forgiveness or victory over his enemies or more faith or strength. He's just acknowledging the splendour and the sovereignty of the Lord, the power of God over everything. So we'll just run through these verses quickly. Verse 1 and 2, in some versions it says, "Ascribe to the Lord." In other versions it says to honour the Lord in his splendour, in his power. Then from verse 3 there's a phrase that comes up 7 times, and that's the voice of the Lord. The voice of the Lord thunders over the waters. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is majestic. The voice of the Lord breaks the cedars. The voice of the Lord strikes with mountain flashes. The voice of the Lord shakes the desert. The voice of the Lord twists the oaks. Wow. And then we get to verse 10, and it says, "The Lord is enthroned forever." And then in verse 11, the very last verse, is a bit strange. This David has gone a completely different way. It says, "The Lord gives strength to his people. The Lord blesses his people with peace." Now I can imagine David looking at a storm or a thunderstorm, seeing the power in a storm or in the wind or the waves crashing on the sea, and seeing that power, knowing that all-powerful God, there's sovereign and dominion over nature, the creator of the universe, also looks after him. And so he puts his whole trust in God. He gives him everything. God is in control. And I think because we trust him like that, then he gives us strength. Gives strength to his people. That's you and me. We're his people too, even though David then, he gives strength to us. And he gives it to us. We don't have to earn it or do anything for it. He gives it to us as long as we acknowledge that God is in control and has dominion and sovereign over everything. And you think that David wrote this psalm 1,000 years before Jesus, and we can see Jesus through the New Testament now. And it made me think of John's Gospel, John 1:14, where it says, "The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us." And if you put it into a New Testament context and change that to the word, the voice became flesh and made his dwelling among us. The voice became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We can see his glory, the glory of the one and only Son who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. So I want to urge you, next time you pray, just acknowledge the Lord and put your trust in him, knowing that he's in control, and give him the sovereignty and dominion that he needs, and he will give you strength and he will give you peace. So next time you pray, you'll get peace and strength.